Welcome back to Campfire Stories, presented by the Malden Public Library. Thanks to Lily last week for sending another reading. Summer reading is in full swing, and we are busy. So tonight's story is going to be a short one. It's by Merc Fenn Wolfmoor, and can be found on my favorite online magazine site for short fiction, Nightmare Magazine. I'll include a link in the comments. You should definitely check them out if you like the scary stories we tell here. This short story is called Sweet Dreams Are Made of You, and it's about a computer game that eats. That's all I'm going to tell you, so you'll have to listen to find out what that's all about. So now with this brief intro, let's begin. Sweet Dreams Are Made of You. Merc Fenn Wolfmoor. The girl has no name. As often as internet forums try to dub one for her, nothing ever sticks. One week, there'll be a consensus for a name befitting a drowned girl, an agglomeration of classic and cult horror tropes of long-haired, white-dressed dead women. And soon after, there's no trace of what it was. No one remembered. Any posts or recordings mentioning the postulated name will have blank spaces where that name should have been. She is only the girl. From the wiki post about Dream Your Game, Inc. The game is played in dreams. It's called Vora, and it requires two people. Find a partner, bring your spouse or significant other. It's best if there is a strong connection between you. Our studies show this enhances the experience. You each determine what you want to feel. Fear, excitement, sexual pleasure, oblivion. You sign the release waivers and lie down, each of you in a separate capsule. Your biometrics will be monitored to ensure your safety in the simulation. All your data is private and will not be shared with other companies. Started by a small independent company that focused on VR, virtual reality gaming, Dream Your Game Inc. hit massive commercial success with the introduction of Vora. It tapped into an unexpected cultural zeitgeist, a simulation in which each user, simultaneously, no matter how many people are using it at a time, are devoured by an unnamed young woman. It didn't seem to matter whether the user was straight, gay, ace, or other, nor did gender skew in any particular direction. Seemingly overnight, mobile hubs popped up all over the country like a chain of coffee shops. Vora wasn't downloadable. Part of the experience was physically entering the hub, lying down in one of the sterilized memory foam-lined bed pods, and being connected via a soft diode-studded cap over the cranium. All hubs were ADA compliant and had assistive devices and ramps as needed. Sessions lasted between 15 and 30 minutes. From the wiki post. From the dictionary definition, Vora is a combining form meaning one that eats. From the Urban Dictionary, Vora is described as a fetish in which one is eaten alive. Vora, capitalized, an interactive VR experience from Dream Your Game Inc., in which an unnamed person, most commonly thought to be a young woman in a white dress with dark hair covering the face, consensually devours the player in unrealistic ways. The game begins. There's a girl with long hair, wet from drowning, and a white dress stained at the hem by mud. She smiles. You can't see her face, but you know she smiles. "Do you want to play Vora?" she asks. "Do you want to play? Do you?" This is the last chance for you to terminate the experience. If one of you says no, you're woken up and given a refund. You will not be allowed to be partnered together in any future attempts to play. Say yes. She will gently eat your faces, pushing her mouth of vacuum into your skull cavity, sucking you clean until there's just a ring of bone and hair at the back of your head. Don't worry, you can still see. It's exhilarating, being eaten into facelessness. You are made anonymous, unburdened of all your shame and responsibility and social expectations. She ties your bodies together with wire. She's just begun. Pick a spot, she says, holding up 2 wooden clothespins. It's not important where you choose. A nose, somehow there again. Your pinky finger, maybe a toe, a nipple, a love handle, a pinched buttock. Remember, there's no shame here, so be as intimate as you want. She marks the spot you each choose with clothespins. Then she cuts off or scoops out this flesh with her fingers and chews thoughtfully. You shiver in unwinding satisfaction as her teeth masticate you, reduce you, and finally swallow you. It's like a tiny reverse birth. Your pieces settle in her belly and mingle together, molecules intertwined. You're always delicious. She unties you, and the wire has mapped your flesh into new lines, constellations imprinted in metal on skin. Lie down, she says, and of course, you do. She flattens you out, rolls you into a paper-thin facsimile of a body. There's no pain, only soothing pressure, squishing, compression, the redistribution of mass. But then you are so light and airy, and oh, now she's using the scissors to trim the unsightly edges of your shape. She nibbles the carvings, slurping down your excised waist. You're warm in her throat, an undulating wave of pressure and release as she swallows you, and you feel every inch of yourself sliding inside her. Dream Your Game Inc. has social media presences on all platforms, and the website dreamyourgame.com is routinely updated with new locations, news, an FAQ, and updates to the customer loyalty program, Vora. There is currently no single-player option, based on the premise that 2 users can share a unique experience while also maintaining individual reactions. Each Vora session must be run with 2 adult participants. No one under the age 18 is allowed. From Sweet Dreams Are Made of You, a Times op-ed article on the phenomenon of Vora. Who is the girl? We designed her to be anonymous, a simulacrum of a universal experience. She was not supposed to have a name, or a face, or a will. She was a simulation. She was just the girl. When you finish your session of Vora, you're rejuvenated. It's as if the crusted edges of exhaustion and stress and anxiety have been smoothed away. You feel whole, alive. You recommend the game to your friends, and each referral gets you points to spend on your next session. Yes, there are viral stories about people who having once played Vora, tried to mimic the game in physical reality. Stories of the carnage and horror that follows when there is only pain and not release. There are people who will always try something once. We are not liable for these individuals' actions, as stated in our terms of service, and the waiver all customers sign before beginning a game of Vora. Vora has swept the nation, garnering criticism from religious institutions, to psychologists, to local government jurisdictions. It also sparked millions of discussions on every social media platform. Hashtags, #Vor and #VorGame trended for weeks. The Twitter account for the company, @DreamYourGame, hit 6 million followers within a month. Participants in Vora sessions are interviewed in local papers and on TV news, although the founders and technicians were never captured on camera or audio recording. Despite protests against Dream Your Game Inc., no legal action was ever finalized. Campaigns against Vora and the company's thousands of hubs, trailer-sized mobile clinics, fizzled before any repercussions could be enacted. Local police departments claim that reports of dead bodies being found eaten away with no sign of external violence to be untrue. An undisclosed source, however, implied that more than 70 unexplained deaths have occurred in Madison, Wisconsin, where the hubs were first introduced. University of Johnston's Professor Dane Romberg, who teaches sociology, commented that Vora is like crude oil spilled into the water. He continued, "It coats everything, but is incredibly difficult to clean up, and it's indifferent to humanity's wishes to govern it." Professor Romberg would not comment if he had tried Vora. From the article, "Sweet Dreams Are Made of You." You may file a complaint or expound on your concerns, but understand that if you dream about the girl, if you dream about the game outside our facilities, there is nothing we can do. Some people find the experiences so intoxicating, they become addicted. No, of course, not you. A local resident who wished to remain anonymous voices a common sentiment with the national craze called Vora. It's like you get out of Vora and you remember for like a few minutes and ride the buzz. But then it's hard to think about it, you know? I don't have the receipt on my credit account, man. And I can't even remember which hub I went to. Yeah, I'd like to check my Voyeur account, but I can't remember my login info. It's weird, man. 4. As prominent in our shared experience with this fad is, citizens have concerns about the long-term memory effects the game may have. Many people have reported that they are unable to recall where they played Vora. At this time, we could find no information on the company that produces the game. From the 5 p.m. local news hour station KYWR. The site you are looking for, dreamyourgame.com, cannot be found. A week passes, but you find yourself distracted at work, the university's halls dull and drab, and you're equally unsatisfied at home, itching and longing for something you can't quite describe. What's one more session? You're not an addict. You hold out. Students in your class have been absent. Several of your close friends aren't returning texts or emails. Cars parked along your street haven't moved in days, even though your neighbors should be all at work. One more session of Vora will do you good. It will satiate that itch. Your wife will want to join you, of course, since she's complained of being unable to sleep well. She's irritable all the time. You haven't heard from your kids in a week, but that's hardly new. Juniors in college, the twins are sporadic at best when it comes to keeping in touch with you. Just one more session, you decide. Except you can't find the hubs anymore. The website's down. We deleted our social media profiles and we don't answer the phones. The panic is normal. You're not the only one who sees her. The user at Dream Your Games does not exist. The girl was never supposed to be real. We gave her power, but tempered her with rules. She was anonymous, so users wouldn't grow attached to her. Nameless, so we couldn't be sued by persons living or dead. The girl was never supposed to be. You'll never know that your twin children are some of the first to try Vora. They didn't tell you. They thought you would disapprove, or you wouldn't get it. That's a shame. It would have given you a topic of interest to chat about over the inevitable, uncomfortable Thanksgiving dinner. When you get a call from the Madison police 2 days from now asking you to identify a pair of bodies, you won't be able to answer. You will have fallen asleep. It's not your fault. It's ours. We gave her too much hunger. We gave her perpetually drowning looks and an appetite unsuited for waking times. At first, we brushed off the reports that clients saw her in their homes. Wishful after images, our PR team assured us. If you find yourself needing another session, repeat customers get a discount. But we were wrong to doubt your claims. She is too hungry to keep confined. Forgive us. We made her and shackled her with legal consent. She will appear in your dreams, anywhere you sleep, and ask, "Do you want to play Vora?" If you refuse, you will wake sweating and shaky. Go back to bed. She will still be there. She won't leave until you say yes. But it must be your choice. You will try sleeping pills and alcohol and exhaustion, but she will always be there. If you say yes, she will do what she always done. She will eat you slow while you sleep. It doesn't hurt. You won't wake because of blood loss. It doesn't hurt. Your wife will not have to discover your body because your wife, too, is playing Vora. You thought it would be cheaper than couples therapy, and you were right. Our rates are very reasonable per session. We're exploring methods to stay awake, to drive our bodies to the limit of physical endurance. The rumors of suicide, those who don't want to sleep, are unfounded. It's just a game. It's just a game. Search results for Dream Your Game Inc. 0. Search results for Vora Game 0. Sorry, the wiki topic Dream Your Game Inc. doesn't exist. Would you like to create it? If you say no, she will wait. She is not bound by singularity. She can be everywhere, with all of you, with all of us. You can try and find our buildings, but they will be empty. We are already inside her. She ate us slow. Refuse if you must. She will wait. When you fall asleep, and you will, she will be there to ask, "Do you want to play Vora? Do you want to play? Do you?" Wow. So creepy and strangely believable. Someday AI will eat us. It kind of reminds me a little bit of The Ring and a little bit of Existenz or How to Make a Monster. And I love it. And I hope you liked it too. If you have time to check out back issues of Nightmare Magazine or swing by the library to see what scary stories we have to give you chills on these summer nights, I strongly recommend checking out collections of short fiction. They're great to just read a little bit at night, perhaps before bed, ruin some dreams. And it's a great way to kind of scratch that horror itch. So all I can say now is stay cool, stay hydrated, stay well read, and have a good night.